Beers and Banter, episode 30. We have St. Lane in the house tonight. We might talk a bit of UFC. There's been a bit of cricket action around the place too. And God, it's hot in the sweaty box tonight. Let's do it. For all those that love to listen to our pod in the car, maybe wait till after you've dropped the kids off at school this week because probably a little bit more explicit than usual. Here is the next episode with St. Lane. Cheers. Lane, welcome to Beers and Banter.
Thank you very much for having me. I'm excited to be on Beers and Banter.
I'm pumped because that is definitely the best shirt we've had in the studio so far.
Oh, this whole thing? I just threw it on.
Yeah, I love it. I've been stalking you on Instagram. I love the fashion.
Thank you.
I'm loving the music.
I appreciate it.
I'm not really hip with the kids. I'm a bit old, but
it's all good.
I like it. It's tight. Oh, sorry.
I'm glad. I'm really glad you like it. I'm trying to make music that isn't really like age defined. Like people from all demographics can like it. Because when I first started, I put out 2 songs last year at the start of last year.
Yep.
And I was looking at my data analytics and all that, and it was like I had a 90% male audience, and of that 90%, another 90% were between the ages of 23 and 27. So 23 to 27-year-old males were my entire audience, and I was like, all right, I got to do something else. So I put out a song called Pitbull Type Beat.
Yeah.
And then the whole audience flipped and became 50-50. And then I've got a new song out, and now my audience is 85% women. And it's changed in a year. My whole audience has changed.
That's good. So the good news is our demographic is women aged 60 to 65. So
that's great.
Yeah, not really.
I've been trying to target that market, so we're good.
Hey, we've got a little bell here, so whenever you want to drink, just hit that one and we'll
I'll hit that right now.
Good stuff.
And you have to get it.
Can you hit that twice for me, Lane?
Yeah.
Cheers, mate. Thanks.
So
What is this?
We're on the Coopers tonight.
Okay.
I'm going camping soon, and the Coopers cans just travel really well.
Yeah. Is there something special about this? Are they usually green? I thought they were red.
Coopers Pale Ale.
Because this is the thing. I came on here because I was excited to, because I don't drink beer. Like, I'm a spirits guy. But
We should have known. I texted you today.
Yeah, I know. But I wanted to drink beer because the show's called Beers and Banter. It felt appropriate.
We do try to accommodate the guest. I'm starting to find the more performance-based someone is, the more likely they don't want to drink at all.
Oh, no. Like,
so we've got some ginger beers and Banter episodes.
I'll drink everything. Fuck yeah. That's
So, Lane, my girlfriend, Frances, she said to say that she wanted to marry you.
Your girlfriend wants to marry me?
So that was emasculating today. That was great.
Shit. That happens. Dude, a guy messaged me once. This is horrible. A guy messaged me. He's like, you can like date my girlfriend, if I can get tickets to a show.
Yeah, right.
And I was like, fuck no, dude.
Date your girlfriend, but.
Well, fuck that. But yeah, it's and that comes to what I was saying before with the flip of the. I don't think your girlfriend would have said that 12 months ago when I was making different kind of music.
No, possibly not. No.
Yeah, I think it's me.
So can you go back to what you were doing,
I
please?
stopped singing on songs now.
So, born in New Zealand?
Yep, born and raised Auckland.
Fijian and French parents?
Yep, my mum is from Fiji, Suva. My dad was, he's a Kiwi, but French background.
French?
Yeah.
How did you end up on the Gold Coast?
I got a rugby scholarship when I was 14. There's a school called TSS. I don't know if you've ever heard of that.
The special school?
The special school, yeah. And
sorry, that's a joke for Gold Coast locals. It's actually the Southport School.
Yeah, it was. There was another name for it, but is not appropriate for anything. And I went to the school, and they immediately hated me. All the other kids hated me so.
I was about to say this. Don't take this the wrong way, but I feel like you would have been a square peg in a round hole at that school.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Definitely. I'm still that now in life, but it's easier because there's more room to move.
That's good.
They just fucking hated me. They wanted me to not be at school. I think originally because I took the position of someone else that was in the team who was probably like their friend who they've grown up with, and now
Yeah.
the friends out of the team, and I'm here. And they just told me to like go back to New Zealand every day. Like every day at school, I was getting beat up by dudes who were in year 12.
That's rough.
And they were like, I was like, what the fuck? Like, these guys are 18. Like, they could vote. Like, if there was an election, like, the dude that beat up kids can go vote.
They're on their 4th year at grade 12.
Yeah. And I was like, fuck this school. So all my friends at the school were me and the all the indigenous kids that were at that school. Because for some reason, they were like, go back to where you came from to them as well. And I was like, aren't they fucking from here? And it just, like, was really confusing. So I was like, fuck this school. Fuck rugby union, and I went to a school called Marymount, which is just down the street from
Yeah,
here.
righto.
And signed up for the Burleigh Bears and was playing rugby league with them till I was like 17.
The mighty Burleigh Bears.
Yeah, brother.
You. That's awesome. So, you know, part of the theme of this show is successful Gold Coasters.
Oh,
because
really?
what really bugs me is how the rest of the country talks about the Gold Coast
Yeah.
and how they see the Gold Coast, the transient population. Oh, yeah, people are just on holidays there. No one stays there. Nothing. No one can succeed there. And my counter argument is the amount of world-class athletes,
Yeah.
artists,
Mm-hmm.
you know, all the different supercar drivers. That many, all the footy players don't seem to want to come here during their career, but they all want to retire here. So
Yeah, that's true.
there's something about the Gold Coast that's actually only people that live here know why it's so good. And if you get out of surface, it's actually, one of the greatest places in the country.
Well, that's similar with a lot of places like around the world. Like there's like their main strip. Like I was in New Orleans last year for Mardi Gras because I was shooting a video out there, and the main strip in New Orleans is a shithole. Place sucks. Like really, like it's like Surfers Paradise, but just worse. And if you'd only gone
What's
to
that called? Bourbon
Street.
Bourbon
Bourbon
Street.
Street. It's so bad. And if you'd only gone there, because that's like the touristy spot of it, you'd be like, oh, New Orleans sucks. But if you go out of there, like if you go to like the wider regions of New Orleans or like Baton Rouge or like anywhere around Louisiana, it's like the coolest place in the world. I feel like the Gold Coast has got a similar thing here because people just go Surfers Paradise and they go home, or they go to the theme parks and they go home, and they don't see like Burleigh, Coolangatta, like there's so much cool shit here.
The ones that leave surface and see the rest of the Gold Coast go home and pack their shit up and move here.
That's exactly right. That is so true.
So, yeah, I just want to keep on that theme that you can be a successful person and base yourself on the Gold Coast.
Yeah,
You're about to go on tour.
I am.
You seem to be going backwards and forwards to the States a little bit. So,
Yeah,
and
I'm always there.
the Gold Coast is a good place for you to do that from?
Yeah, it's good. Like it's kind of like the home base, and my mum lives here on the Gold Coast, so I can just crash with her and shit.
Perfect.
That's good.
But yeah, I'm in America like all the time. That's where I'm making the music.
Yeah, righto. So, tell us the St. Lane story, or the Lane story. How do we
Right. You want to know the whole thing?
go deep, mate? We got beers. We got plenty of
yeah,
time in the GoPro.
This is a good beer. I moved here for a scholarship. I'm playing for Burleigh Bears after leaving the school. And while I'm playing for Burleigh Bears, I'm doing stand-up comedy on the side.
Oh,
I was
really?
playing at the Atrium Bar at the casino, Loft on Chevron Island. I was 16, 17, like trying to do stand-up.
Yep.
And it was like my dream was to be a stand-up comedian. I was like, it would be so cool if playing rugby league works out. But I knew there were kids that I was a winger and a fullback, and I knew there were kids that are way bigger than me.
Yeah.
Same position, and like I was like, I'm gonna be the best stand-up comedian that ever fucking lived. And Carl Barron was like a alumni at the school I was at. He went to Marymount, so they kind of had
Carl Barron did?
yeah.
I did not know that.
And so they had Carl Brown kind of like put on this pedestal at a school, and I remember like all the kids like really loved Carl Barron, and they didn't like me. They didn't like me at all. And I kind of looked at Carl Barron as like almost like a larger than life. And to be completely honest with you, I'm not like the biggest fan of his comedy, but it's a bit too Australian maybe. I get it. As the longer I live here, the more I get it. It's like when I first moved here, I saw Russell Coit. I was like, this is the dumbest shit. And then I saw it like recently. I was like, I get it.
I get it now. Yeah, right.
But I just think I got it because I was too Kiwi. And now I'm getting the Carl Brown shit. It's pretty funny. But there was such a pedestal on his stand-up. And I made me want to do stand-up. And I love stand-up already. Like, I love Dave Chappelle and Louis C.K. and shit. And so
I'm not sure you're allowed to like Louis C.K. anymore.
Nah, I definitely still like Louis C.K. I did an interview on GQ where they were like, "Who's your favorite comedian?" And I was like, "Louis C.K." And they didn't print it. And so I'm writing stand up, and I'm in Yeppoon, and I was playing for Gold Coast for rugby league, and I broke my sternum in Yeppoon, so I couldn't play anymore unless I like really wanted to like focus on the rehab for that and get back into it. And then also by the time I was able to get back into it, there's a huge gap between when you're 17, 18 and then you go on to play seniors.
Yeah.
And like the gap, because I'd missed out on all this training for like a whole year, I couldn't train because of my sternum. That's kind of like the year where everyone kind of developed whether like either I'm going to pursue playing professional sport or I'm going to work at IGA. And like it was like the two paths, and because I didn't train and I didn't do all this shit, everyone just got light years ahead of me, and also they were older. So yeah.
So they put you in the deli at the IGA?
Yeah. Now I work at IGA.
Yeah, nice.
And so I could always play instruments. My granddad taught me how to play guitar when I was 5, and I've always just loved music. And so I broke my sternum. I had 6 months left of high school, I think. And was it like May? Yeah. I had 6 months left of high school, and I had no idea what I was going to do because I was like, I'm going to be a famous stand-up comedian. Break my sternum, I can't laugh because I don't know if you've broken your sternum before. You can't laugh. And so I was like, fuck, I can't be a comedian. So I auditioned to go into the Conservatorium of Music at Griffith Uni for bass guitar. And I started up a band with my friends from school. And then we signed a distribution deal with Interscope. Like, it moved really, really fast. We put our shit on the internet, and people just really fucked with it immediately. And I was like, cool. And then when I was in this band, and we're, like, touring, and then I'm, like, at this crossover, I'm like, fuck, I want to get back into the league. I want to get back into comedy. But also, my music has, like, been the best received thing I've ever done. And I've only just started doing it. Get into the Conservatorium, band's killing it. And I was watching State of Origin with Jai, who you're a friend of the show.
Yeah.
And my drummer, Luke, calls me. He says, hey, dude, we want to take the band to the next level. I'm like, fucking yes, dude. Next level, that's us. He's like, yeah, we have got someone to replace you.
Ouch.
This dude called Niall. He's like, he's going to take your spot because we think he's a much better bass player.
Brutal.
And I was like, oh, fucking, okay.
How are they doing at the moment?
Yeah, nothing. Nothing since, yeah.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
Sucks to be Niall.
Totally. Yeah. And so I was like devastated, man, and I didn't know what I was going to do because now like my fallback for no longer being a rugby league player is just fell through on me.
Yep.
So I'm like, shit, man, what am I going to do? And I go to this barbecue at my friend Tommy's house, and this dude Ike plays me these beats for hip hop music, and I was like, these are sick. He's like, dude, you should just rap on them. I was like, oh, yeah, right. And then tried it out, ended up doing all right, and then signed a deal with the indie label off the back of a handful of songs that me and Ike made. Toured with 360, like did his whole regional tour off that. 360, Seth Century, Remy, Tech 9. Did like 20 tours of Australia without any commercial success. I'm putting out music constantly, getting the videos directed, like crazy good budget videos. Like we're on a decent label who's paying for our studio time.
Yep.
I'm working at a hotel while I'm doing all this to fund it, to fund my life.
Yep.
And then one day, I'm working at the hotel, and this girl just kills herself at the hotel, and I'm like,
Jesus.
I'm like, oh, dude, this job fucking sucks. I'm kind of over it. And then I'm working night shifts, and then there was like another suicide, and then there was a murder. And then a dude came in with a knife and tried to fucking stab me. And then another dude fucking died. And I was like, this is really draining, being around all this death.
I never thought it would happen that frequently.
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah, right.
All the time.
Yeah, wow. Jesus.
Yeah, it was in Surfers Paradise. And there's just a lot of suicides that was just constantly around. It's just such a negative thing to just be around go to work and you don't know if you're going to deal with a body.
It's not
today.
a good place to be.
And like you have to go to the cop shop and shit, and like just drama all the time that like is not a drama I've put myself into a situation. It's a drama that's coming to me.
Yeah.
And so I made this Google spreadsheet of every band, singer, rapper in Australia who I look at them and go, I want to be you. And it was like, there was like 150 acts on this. And I looked up who their management were, got all their management details, and I just sent every manager in Australia an email that's like, hey, this is all the stuff I've been doing the last couple of years. All my videos, these are all the tours I've been doing. It's not working. There's a missing component, clearly. If it's not working and we're presenting a good product with good visuals, there's a missing link. And it's because I was managing the group. I'm not a fucking manager. I'm just a dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need someone that actually has like connections in the music industry. So I got 2 responses from the 150-something emails I sent. One of them was a dude called Harry, who was like, I think this is great, but I'm too busy. And then another guy, Andrew, he said, I think this is great, but again, too busy, but I'm going to link you up with this guy called Dan. So call Dan. Dan was in a band called the Griswolds, who were like a hot band at the time. And he's like, let's make a song. And he had just produced for Lizzo. Do you know Lizzo?
Yeah.
I just went to my first festival since Big Day Out 02,
Oh, yeah?
and it was so my wife could watch Lizzo at FOMO.
Well, this is the crazy shit. So Dan had just finished producing the shit for Lizzo, and no one had heard of Lizzo at this point. It's 2017.
Yep.
Come down. He plays me Truth Hurts and all the shit that's like hot now.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is crazy. It's so crazy that like this isn't big. He's like, it's so frustrating because we're making the craziest shit and like no one gives a fuck. And I was like, this is exactly what's happening to me right now in this moment. It's like he fucking got it because he was having the same problems with Lizzo, and it was good just to work with someone that got it. And so we go to a place called Gorokan in New South Wales. It's like Central Coast.
Yep.
We spend like 6 hours on a song. We make a song. It's called The Dash. And we're like, cool. We got a really cool fucking song. Come back, upload it to Triple J Unearthed. And then after like trying to make music work for like 5 years, we have our first song that does well. And it was our first song to chart in Australia. It was like number 4 on Spotify in Australia and number 3 in New Zealand. I was like fucking killing, getting all these label offers. And Ike, the guy I was in a duo with another guy.
Yep.
He was like, "Fuck it, dude, we did it." I was like, "Fuck yeah, man!" And I kind of looked at it as like the door had just opened, and he kind of saw it as like, "This is cool. I'm gonna go travel now. I'm gonna do all the shit I kind of wanted to do, but I haven't been able to do because we've been doing this music shit for so long." So I was like, "Cool, man. Like, do your thing." And it's like he got out of it what he wanted to get out of it. So he moved to Canada. And he like went all through Europe, and he moved to Canada. And I stayed, and I went back in the studio with Dan, and we made an album of just solo Lane shit, Saint Lane shit. It wasn't called Saint Lane at the time. It was originally going to be called My Cousin Lane, was the name of the project.
I like Saint Lane better.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Same.
I'm glad you went with that.
Yeah. That was. I'm glad too. And so we made this whole album, and we just pitched it to all these different labels, and then all these other labels started wanting to sign the project because it's an artist who. Like, we went and it was like, this artist doesn't even have an artist name. But we know that it works because right now there's like a hot song by this vocalist. So, the market can accept it. But you guys can basically mold this act into whatever you want. So all the labels thought that was really appealing. So pretty much every label sent us an offer. And we went with Ministry of Sound.
Cool. Oh, perfect.
Yeah. So then I put out the St. Lane stuff. And that's now we're here.
Yeah, great.
So based on the Gold Coast, but about to launch onto a tour, we've got the what is it? Triple J's Hottest 100 this weekend.
Yeah, in 2 days.
What day is it?
It's on Saturday.
On Saturday.
What are your predictions?
Denzel Curry or Billie Eilish to win. It's going to be. I think they'll be 1 and 2.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, what do you think?
Look, it's too close. I don't know. I haven't actually listened to that much music this year, but I didn't vote. But yeah,
how rude.
Childish.
I voted for the first time.
Who'd you vote for?
Sugary Sweet.
Oh, thank you, dude.
No, it'll be pretty hard to top Billie Eilish, I think. She's just taking it over at the moment.
Yeah, she had a great year.
Yeah.
She had a really fucking great year.
Yeah.
I honestly, this is so terrible. I don't think that Tones and I track will make top 10.
Which one?
The Dance Monkey.
Dance Monkey?
Yeah. I think it deserves to win because it's a huge song and she's great.
Yeah.
And she's awesome. But I think people were so oversaturated by that track that they're like, or they almost assume it's going to win, that they won't vote for it.
Do you know who ruined it?
Who ruined it?
Dancing with the Stars.
Well, I've never seen that. I know what it is.
That's their song for their promo.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Real original. Like
Yeah.
Dance
Yeah.
Monkey. My wife's convinced Lizzo's got it. She's going to win.
Your wife thinks Lizzo's going to win? That's good luck.
It's not always an Australian. It should be an Australian artist, but it's not always, is it?
It's fairly rarely.
Yes, it's. I can't remember. The last Australian artist I remember winning was the Rubens with Hoops.
Yep.
2015, when they should have actually come second, because King Kunta came second, the Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah,
And I thought that was a way bigger record.
Although Riptide won it
Yeah,
not too long before
I
that.
think it was 2013. Riptide won it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's
been the Australians are up there.
yeah,
Mm.
and now's like probably the best time ever to make music in Australia. Like some of the best music in the world. When I was in LA like 2 weeks ago, every Starbucks in America is playing Tame Impala.
Oh wow.
Everyone.
That's cool.
And then you go to like Urban Outfitters, they're playing Mole Rat, chick from Brisbane.
So, I think Pitbull kind of beat
People type beat.
Pitbull type beat. That's my favourite. Is that the one where?
This
Is that the one with the dog? I
Yeah.
just like that your dog's pissed at you
yeah. Oh, dude. So that song.
and your missus is up in paws about it. Have I
Yeah.
picked up?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
do love that.
So with that song, I was convinced that was going to be the biggest song in the history of the world. I was
It
like,
could give it time.
I was like, oh man, this shit's gonna blow the fuck up. And it was a song that changed my audience it made girls interested in my music.
Yep.
But fuck, it like did nothing. Like it's my least streamed song.
Oh,
But
really?
it's every time I meet like fans, like if someone messages me on Instagram and shit, they always say Pitbull Type Beats their favorite song.
Can we play a little bit of it?
Yeah.
What am I doing here? All right, haven't even got this queued up, so we're going to hear it probably straight from the start.
That's cool.
I called my bank and said I had a fucking credit scam. Doesn't help that the bar has like massive sufficient fucking evidence. Me standing on the counter, screaming while I'm throwing cash.
I love it. I've
Thank you.
been
It's a tune.
playing
Thank you.
heaps. I won't play too long. I don't want to get in trouble. Off
Yeah,
the,
you don't want to get it.
Yeah, then we'll have to pay the man.
no, but I'm loving the music.
Thank you.
And we might talk a little bit more music.
Yeah.
But I want to go into we do cover a bit of sports on this show. Do you watch the fight on the weekend,
I
UFC?
I did watch it.
What do you think? I paid my 55 and I was devastated when it was over in 40 seconds.
Well, I was happy because I put $100 on Roxanne, one of the prelims,
Yeah.
to have the big upset.
Oh,
And-
nice.
And you fucking better believe she had that upset, paying $5 to win, dude.
Did she fight Macy?
I forget who she was. It was like number 6 versus number 7.
Was she the one that did her ACL?
Yeah, she did
I think it was
ACL.
Macy Barber, maybe.
Yeah, Barber. Yeah, that was the last name. So I was stoked because won some cashola. But in terms of the fight, it's good that he's back. I guess I think he picked a guy who's a lot of a worse fighter than him, and I almost feel like he's being so respectful to Don, almost as a sign of like, so people don't get it twisted that he's a much better fighter. A lot of people think he kind of took a dive. I don't think he took a dive. I think he got clearly shouldered in the face in the start of the fight.
I don't know.
I've watched a little bit of analysis since, and they're all dissing the shoulder.
Not a fan of the shoulder.
They're clearly not rugby league fans, all these
Yeah.
blokes, and they're like, a shoulder can't knock you out. And it's like, well, I'm pretty sure they can.
Oh,
Yeah.
Joe was pretty pumped on it
Yeah,
in the commentary.
when Michael Bisping thought it was bullshit that that you can't get knocked out with the shoulder, it's like, pretty sure he broke
Nah.
his nose, and
Yeah.
yeah.
then
That-
the head kick was where the fight was over. Like,
Yeah, I'm pretty sure David Kidwell knocked out Willie Mason with a shoulder in like 2004.
Yeah.
So run that back.
I'm pretty sure we've outlawed the shoulder charge.
Yeah, I wish I'd bring it back. I just want to see McGregor's like who he's fighting next.
I think I'm hoping this year we see Mayweather 2, Nate Diaz 3,
Pacquiao.
Nah, I'm not interested in that fight. I think he beats the shit out of Pacquiao. To be honest,
You reckon?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think he would.
Pacquiao's like 4 million years old.
He's also a boxer.
Yeah. Anyway, that's just Big Red's opinion. And then they finish with Khabib.
I don't think he could beat Khabib.
He may not,
Yeah.
but when you find out that he was on the piss all week, leading into the first
Yeah,
fight,
totally. Yeah.
and it was pretty obvious he may have dabbled in a bit of other extracurricular activities too.
I
I'd
wouldn't be
say.
surprised.
Just the way he was carrying on, it was
Like
just
golf. He
could have been could have played some
He'll be
golf.
playing too much golf.
was working on his swing anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was.
It was snowing.
It was. I think he was playing golf in the snow.
He was
That's
just
sort of where I was
cold.
getting to. I'd like to see that run back.
I would love. The thing that annoys me with Khabib is like, I get bored with like ground game.
Yeah.
I love seeing hands being thrown, and sometimes with Khabib you don't really see that. He's a very great wrestler.
Yeah, you're 26-0, mate, but
He did
it's
shock.
been a boring 26.
Yeah,
He
it's like,
did
it's
shock-
like Mayweather's like that.
He did shock Connor though by clipping him,
Yeah. Oh, he definitely clipped him.
and that's where Connor was probably too worried about the takedown and not just the
Yeah. Wasn't
throwing
prepared for
hands
the other
and
shit,
head kicking him. But
It'd be a great fight. No
I
doubt.
think so. And then you've got the Game Bread and the Kamaru Usman fight as well, which is, there's a few fights to play out. I think he's the other variable is that he's actually sitting back, and he's convinced that Tony and Khabib won't fight, and he'll fight whoever doesn't pull out of that
Yeah. Right.
in April, which is why he doesn't want to take any more fights in between now and then.
Well, I think he wants to fight Gamebred, doesn't he? I don't know if it's a good fight, but I
Has he
think
fought
it should
Tony
happen.
Ferguson?
No,
No.
No.
that'd be another good fight.
It would be.
I reckon Connor wins that.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think Conor wins that too.
Another dude with super wrestling, super.
Yeah, good ground game. The only person I can imagine beating McGregor based on the form that he had on the weekend would be Khabib.
Yeah.
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 It'd be a fucking crazy fight.
Yeah, hopefully the next fight, if he does fight Khabib again, hopefully it at least goes the distance.
Yeah, true.
But it'd be good to see you get a win there. I'm a massive Connor fanboy. I love him. I want to get those Reeboks. Those
he's got shoes? Yeah,
Yeah.
they're
I
good?
saw the ad for it just before the fight, and I was like, got to get me some of those.
I drank proper 12 when I was in Vegas a few months ago.
I've heard it's trash, but I want to get a bottle.
It's like Jim Beam, or like it's
Perfect.
Just it's just like a regular.
Yeah.
I don't. Am I not a connoisseur enough of whiskeys to not tell the difference between any of them? Like I just taste it, I'm like, oh yeah, whiskey.
Yeah,
I can tell the difference between whiskey and rum
Yeah.
and other spirits. But when I have whiskey, you could pour me any whiskey, and you could be like, this is top shelf. This is the stuff that we scooped off the ground, and it would taste the same.
What is your drink of choice then? What do you like drinking?
Dude, I love a good cognac.
Yeah.
Like a Hennessy and ginger ale with a bit of lime and like a big fucking bit of ice in it.
Typical fucking rapper.
Yeah, I know, it's so annoying. And I also, if I'm just like at the pub, I'll drink like a Canadian Club.
Yeah.
But I'm also a fucking massive dickhead, and I really enjoy cocktails at places where you probably shouldn't be drinking cocktails. Like I'll go to like the Lord Nelson or something, and be like, hey, give me an espresso martini, dude. And, like,
$43.
Espresso martinis for life, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, they're so good.
I love ordering one in that awkward scenario where
Mhm.
it's supposed to be like Sunday I have beers. And you're like, I'll have an espresso martini, thanks.
Yeah, people look at you like, yeah,
Don't have them on the menu if you don't want to serve me one.
The bartender's just like, really? Another one? Okay, so.
They got them on tap at Burley Hotel.
Yeah, there's a couple of places in Brisbane have them on tap as well. It's
So
hilarious.
good.
What about stalking your Instagram?
Hit me.
Bam Bam.
Tai Tuivasa.
Yes.
What a fucking great dude.
Yeah.
He's the nicest fucking guy I've fucking met. I remember he put his number in my phone when he was like, give me your phone. He put his number in my phone. And I was just looking at him like, well, like, Bam Bam's putting his number in my phone. Like, why is he doing that? I'm not cool enough to know this fucking guy.
Yeah.
And we talked to him a couple of times since, and I met him at a party, and he's just a great fighter as well.
Yeah.
I love watching his fights. I love his trash talking, like
Yeah?
his post fight shit.
Yeah.
If I was a fighter, I would be the biggest asshole in the world. I would talk so much trash and post, pre, during, like just writing everyone off in sight. That's why I'm not a fighter though.
Like, his walkout songs are the go. Like,
Yeah.
he's had some crackers.
I would have crazy walkout. I would have like deliberately like real slow, sad walkout songs like that. Like don't get you amped at all. Like just shit that make you cry.
I watched The Joker on the weekend. I think my new theme song could be "Send in the Clowns." Is it Sinatra that sings that song?
Probably. Yeah.
Send in the clowns. That one.
Don't know what song you're talking about.
I'm not musical, so
There's a lot of good music in that movie. There's also
yeah, the music was good in that movie.
yeah, all the whole scoring was fantastic. In that film, next time you watch it, every clock in that film is set to 11:11. Anytime you see a clock in that movie, it's on 11:11 because apparently it's like German and Italian and a couple other places have in like their classical literature that 11:11 began the hour of, it was called like Zittadini or something, which is it translates to the hour of the Joker.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
There you go.
Didn't know that.
That's a little fun fact.
I
Yeah.
went into that skeptical. I was like, we did not need another Joker
Yeah.
or a Joker-only movie. And even I was watching it, and I don't want to spoil it, but I was like, that's not in line with like the Batman movies that I've
Yeah.
seen. And then by the end of I actually fell asleep because I was just wrecked. I went back and watched it again the next night, but sort of dismissed that it had anything to do with those other movies.
Yeah, with
and
the
just
Chris
watched it
Nolan one.
on its own
Mm-hmm.
and just went, wow,
Yeah.
that's a brilliant movie.
It's great.
Is it Joaquin?
Walking Phoenix.
Joaquin Phoenix?
Yeah.
He was brilliant.
Yeah.
Really good.
It was a good movie. I thought there were definitely better movies from last year,
Yeah.
but it was a great for a what would you call it, like superhero movie?
Wait, is it though?
It's in the part of the DC universe.
Yeah.
For movies under that banner, I thought it was the best one.
I guess it's an origin story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fucking awesome. For what it was.
So who gets the Oscar then? If you said there's better movies last year, what were they?
So who gets the Oscar? 1917 gets the Oscar.
Oh, I haven't seen that
Not
yet.
from me, but it will get the Oscar. It's a amazing movie. Have you seen Birdman?
Michael Keaton?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you know how the whole movie looked like it was shot in one take?
Yeah.
It wasn't shot in one take, but through cinema effects, it feels like it was shot in one take.
Yep.
1917 does the same thing. Feels like one take the whole fucking movie.
Someone said that to me and I was like, how do you do that in a war movie?
I'd never seen anything like it. They were all they would have to. I think it was made up of 6 long takes, like the whole movie.
Yeah.
6 really long takes. There's explosions. There's choreography. There's thousands of people. So if one person fucks up, they have to go all the way back. They're like, hey, put the fire out there.
Hey,
put the
Jimmy, you
fi-
dipshit. You
Yeah.
fucked it up.
Fuck the whole. Like, there's so much at stake to fuck up in that movie, and they managed to get the choreography. And I was watching it because I didn't know about this before going to the movie, that it was all made it look like one take.
Yeah.
And one of the things I do is if there's a long take, I'm going, oh, I wonder how long this take's going to be. And I'm like watching, I'm like 10 minutes. I'm like, fuck, this is a long take. The camera hasn't changed, the angle hasn't changed. It's all back shot. It's like, fuck, they're like really going it. And it's like 30 minutes in, and there's been explosions, there's been deaths, there's been planes on fire. Like, the fucking, and like, people keep saying that they get anxious watching the movie. I think people are getting subconsciously anxious because the camera doesn't change. I was getting anxious. I was like, when's it's gonna fucking switch? Like,
can't blink.
Yeah, I can't blink. Like, when's the angle gonna move? And then they go into like this tunnel. Not spoiling anything. They go into the tunnel, and then I'm like, okay, cool. That's the end of the take. Cool. That's it. Now we're gonna see a front-on shot, side shots. Nah, just keep following them through. I was like, dude, are you fucking kidding? And like, it just didn't stop. And then the movie ended. And I
You're
was
like, God damn it.
I was like,
Is that
holy
it? Is it? I didn't even realize that it was out.
yeah,
Oh.
yeah. It's like 2 weeks old. I've seen so many movies because this is the thing. When I'm not on tour, I do 2 things. I train and I go to the movies, and that's it.
I've got 3 kids, so what did we watch? Jumanji.
Mm-hmm. They haven't seen it.
Spoiler alert: it's the same as the first one.
Mhm.
Star Wars though. It took me a little while to see Star Wars, but we got there.
I wasn't sold on Star Wars, but my friends loved it.
Didn't like it?
Nah.
They could have gone bigger for the last one of the saga, right?
Yeah, I like Mandalorian though. I thought Mandalorian.
You're not allowed to. Star Wars fans aren't allowed to.
Oh, really? Is
yeah,
that the thing?
Yeah, everyone's into me like, oh, yeah, this and that. I'm like, I like it.
I
It's
like
just like 25 minutes of
yeah, just
Star Wars content, and I don't have to think about it too hard.
Yeah, I love it. I like Mandalorian. I like Rogue One. I like Solo. I thought Rogue One, if anything, is like top 3 Star Wars movies. Like, that shit is fucking phenomenal.
I'm with you. I like all the stuff attached to Star Wars that's
Yeah.
not necessarily in line with, we've got to fly this ship into the middle of this planet-sized ship
Yeah.
and blow it up from the inside out. And it's like they've done that same storyline 6 times. So
Mhm.
my favourite ones are always the ones that, like episode 1 or 2 and, probably episode 5.
Yeah.
And then, Rogue One I loved Rogue One because it
Yeah.
was just complete. Even though it was
amazing.
attached to the main storyline. It was good.
Fucking incredible. I think my favorite one's probably 5, Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
Like, to me, that's like a perfect movie.
Love it.
So great. Billy D. Williams is in it, which is one of my favorite actors of all time.
T. Williams.
Lando.
Ah,
Like-
Calrissian.
Dude, fucking, he's so cool. And then they got, dude, like, it's like the people at Star Wars, like, subconsciously asking me, like, who do you want to see in these movies? Because they get my favorite character, Lando, and they get Donald Glover to play him in Solo.
Ah, yeah.
Donald Glover's like my favorite fucking dude.
That's cool.
He's like one of my biggest musical influences. I love his stand-up. When I was doing stand-up, he was my biggest influence for my stand-up.
Oh well, I saw Childish Gambino like years ago at Big Day Out, and it might have been the last
7
Big Day
years
Out.
ago, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that's so funny you said that because I got like, you know how you get those Facebook memories? I
Yeah.
got one of those for that show like a day ago.
Oh, that's it.
Dude, I was front row on that fucking show. It
Dude.
was so sick. Royalty had just come out. Like he hadn't popped yet. Like he
Yeah,
was,
well, I'd never heard of him before, and my mate was like, "Hey, man, we got to go check this dude out." And we were there, and it was just an insane show.
dude,
it was
he
full on.
sick. Man, I waited. Me and my friend Josh, we waited when the gates opened at Big Day Out. And we ran straight to that stage he was on and waited there all day on the barrier. So we were front row for him. So worth it. But
Yeah, nice.
Death Grips, you know them?
No.
So Death Grips is like heavy metal fusion with rap. Really good stuff. Not an easy listen, but like you hear it, you go, oh, it's very, very well-made music.
Yeah.
They played before, and their show was so violent and so like I was just getting fucked up by that barrier. It was like a year after I broke my sternum too. So I was getting killed.
Getting punished.
Worth it.
Going
Yep.
back to Star Wars,
Mm-hmm.
did I see you at the Star Wars exhibit is it Disneyland?
I did. I went to the Star Wars exhibit in Disneyland, and also I spent New Year's Eve at the cantina for Star Wars.
Stop it.
I did, and it was fucking sick. And it was everything I could have hoped and dreamt of. And the drinks, the cocktails there were out of this fucking world. Stormtroopers came through the bar. It was just perfect.
And you met Chewie.
Yeah, I met Chewie.
Chewie's my favourite. He's down there.
Yeah, I saw that. That's sick. Met Chewie. We were in line, and me and my girlfriend didn't even know what we were lining up for. There was just a line. We're like, fuck, it must be some sort of ride. And then they're like, next, walk in, it's Chewbacca, full like life-sized, making the noise, feels like him. He's just like making noise, and then we just hug him. We're like, yo, was this like the start of the ride or something? And then like there's like people there dressed as rebels, are like, give us your phones, and like they're taking photos, and like it was sick. And then I was like, cool, so do we go on a ride now? And then we walked out, and we lined up.
That
for an
was the
hour.
ride.
Yeah, that was the ride.
Oh, cool.
It was an emotional ride.
That's worth it. I'd line up for an hour to get a photo with Chewie.
It was fucking unreal, dude. It was so
Did
cool.
you go on the?
I went on the Millennium
Yep.
Falcon ride, one of the best rides I've ever been on, if not the best.
Did you get to drive?
Yeah, I was shooting. I was on the turrets. So sick. Could not have been a bigger fan of how well they did that Star Wars world, man. They just nailed that. Felt like Star Wars. To get to the ride, you got to walk through like this market that looks like, you know, in Rogue One, the planet that gets destroyed.
Yeah.
Dathomir, I think is what it's called. That's my Star Wars nerdiness coming out. Pretty sure that's the planet that gets destroyed. It feels like that. Like it looks like that. You're walking through, people selling fucking shit that looks like it's from Star Wars. They have they sell Coca-Cola, but it's like looks like a thermal detonator.
Yeah.
So you like have to twist the top and shit.
And from what I can tell, they've basically made it so that you can't see any of the other park. So
yeah,
when you're in the exhibit, you
You're
could be
there.
on another planet.
yeah,
That's so cool.
it's a fucking walk to get there though. I'll
Oh,
tell you.
really?
Yeah, it's at the other end of Disneyland.
So is it in Anaheim or is
Anaheim.
it?
Yeah. So sick though.
I don't want to tell my kids because I don't want them to get excited, but I'm pretty sure we're going to try and hit that the next 12 months.
You got to do it. And they just added a new ride. Like they put a new ride in a week after I was there.
Spewing.
They put
You'll have to go back.
Yeah, I'm in LA all the time, so fuck yeah, I'm gonna go back. I'm
That's
gonna spend a
awesome.
whole day there, man.
What do you think? So, what do you think when Jai signed with South?
Oh yeah, I was so stoked.
He's
Oh, what a great career move, Jai. I've been telling that dude to go to South for about 5 years, but it's good that people finally paid attention to. I guess they weren't paying attention to me, but I guess his management finally got him a really.
You've
good
got a
deal.
very opposite opinion to most of the listeners of this show.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's totally fine. Because
you want him to do well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sure your listeners' best interest is we want the Gold Coast Titans to win a premiership.
100%.
And my best interest is I want like one of my closest friends to succeed in the best way he can. And I feel like his best opportunity right now is at South Sydney. In 10 years' time, the Titans might be the best team in the world. But right now, I think South Sydney have the best lineup. They've got Latrell Mitchell, they've got Cody Walker, Damian Cook, Campbell Walker. They're definitely over the salary cap, but that's a conversation for another
we don't
day.
worry about that
They're
anymore.
all appearing in a movie with Russell Crowe in 2 years' time.
And that's how they get paid. Yeah.
But I think Addo Carr's going there as well. So
Dude, if Addo Carr goes there, man, you don't understand. I'm the biggest South Sydney fan of the world. That's my team.
Oh,
When
Why
I-
South Sydney?
When I was 5, my granddad took me to a Warriors game at Mount Smart.
righto.
Rabbitohs played. And we sat down, and I was like,
The Rabbitohs would have sucked back then.
they did. They got smashed. I think it was their first year back after they had been like
Yeah.
relegated.
Yeah.
And I remember I was like, Granddad, I like those colors. I don't like the black Warriors jersey. I like the
I messed up the colours too.
That
on
was the
show.
first
They
time you
were-
got beat by your granddad.
yeah. And do you know what he did? He's like, wait there. And I sat there, and he came back and had a jersey for me.
Oh, how
that's-
good.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
And then
Oh.
my whole, I don't know why my family was so flimsy, but they all stopped supporting the Warriors. And my whole family, my grandparents, my parents, all started supporting South.
We've all jumped on
right.
board.
And it was a very hard 10-year period.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it was good. And then they won in 2014.
Their first premiership.
Well, yeah, their 22nd premiership or something, but the other ones don't.
First. They don't count.
Yeah, they don't
They
count.
don't count.
It's the first new South
They've-
Sydney premiership.
They've only got one more premiership than the Titans.
That's true. And one more than the Warriors.
That's correct.
Yeah, the Titans and Warriors have just as many premierships of each other.
Yeah.
But I think the Warriors have dropped the ball in finals infinitely more. I remember in 2009, the Titans were in a final against Brisbane at Suncorp. And they really, I remember I went there supporting Titans.
That could have been a field goal in that, I think, maybe.
I think so. But I remember that
I could be wrong.
Titans got fucking ripped off in that game. And I left it being like, that was probably the last chance that was going to happen for a while.
Yeah. I think they're lining up all right this year. They let another player go this morning, Leilani Latu.
Yeah, it's a Super League. I
Yeah.
saw that. I remember when Jared Hayne was coming. Fun fact, me and Jared Hayne are cousins. Met the guy twice. But
Yeah.
Yeah, with my mum and his...
On the Fijian side?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My mum and his dad are second cousins. So that makes me and him like third cousins.
There you go.
Small world, but
Yeah, small world.
crazy.
So I was stoked when he was coming to the Titans, but I only linked up with him once when he was playing for them. But yeah, that didn't really had no impact on the team really. He got one good field goal,
Yeah.
and then that was good for like the promo reel for the.
That day,
Next
I was
almost.
on the biggest high. I'm like, yes, money well spent.
Yeah,
It's
that
all
was
up
it.
from here.
That was the most expensive field goal ever
Yeah.
taken.
Most Titans have ever paid for 1 point.
Yeah, it's crazy. The Titans really need a good player. It sucks for the Titans that they've lost Jai because I feel like he's their best player.
I felt bad because as much as I wanted the Titans to keep Jai, they actually really need to spend the money on a Latrell Mitchell or a big someone in the backs that can just blow a game open. Because right now, hopefully Ash will fire this year, but right now we don't have that big game breaking centre, winger.
I feel like there's no stars at the top. Who's like other than Jai? Who's probably like the A grade player? Who's a player that could play for Australia or their own country?
Well, Kevin Proctor.
Yeah, you got Kevin Proctor playing for the.
I feel like he's on the way out though. Like he's on like when he was at the Storm, he was like peak. Like when they won the World Cup in 2008, that was like peak Kevin Proctor.
Yeah. Ryan James pushing for a spot. You got Nathan Peets was like
He's a good player.
he was the Blues' best player and then didn't make the team the next year, which I couldn't understand.
Yeah.
Um,
Damien Cook's just too good.
you got Jared Wallace. Yeah, Damien Cook's a freak.
It's unbelievable.
Jared Wallace essentially,
He's a
he's
good
probably not hit his heights yet.
Yeah. Does Tyrone Roberts still play for you guys?
Yeah, Tyrone Roberts. Yeah,
Saw him yesterday.
did you?
Yeah, at some cafe in Palm Beach, and I was like, "Fucking, who is that guy?" That I was driving. I was like, "Fucking Tyrone Roberts." It was gonna annoy me all day.
Don't you hate that?
But yeah, man, I reckon two big signings could be
Yeah.
a really, really big difference.
I think our forward pack's pretty solid. I think, and if Ash fires, I just think they need to be able to throw the ball to a centre that can make
Yeah.
something happen.
How would you guys feel about getting Dane Gagai?
I'd be stoked.
Yeah, that'd be
Yeah.
great.
People are like,
Stoked.
oh, he's getting on, but
Yeah,
he is definitely an effort player. I thought if South because Titans are playing hardball because notoriously we get screwed over in
Yeah.
these sort of scenarios. I am glad they are playing hardball because it's like Jai Arrow or give us two good players.
Do you reckon the team would be more successful in Perth?
Shut up. Turning him down.
I'm gonna
you're
hit
done.
this thing as well.
Do you want one as well?
I got good news and bad news.
What is that?
I got a beer for you.
Okay,
Oh,
cool.
that's fair enough.
I haven't got a beer for Luke.
I got to drive.
You've
home
got to
anyway.
drive, boy.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
Oh,
Well, it's a boy.
Oh, sorry, I destroyed your concrete floor.
that's all right.
You mean polished?
You mean
Floor.
the carpet of the studio?
So the show's called Beers and Banter, and
Yep.
you have no beers.
Well, I got beers for you and me.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. He has them for the guest and himself.
That's fair enough.
There are more beers inside, Luke, if you want to do a run.
No, I could probably smash like 3 more.
Do you want to go get another 6-pack?
Yeah, this could be a long night.
What else was I going to talk about? Been to a few awards parties. What are they like?
Yeah, dude, they suck.
Really?
they're not that good.
After parties?
After parties are better. I'll tell you what, there's a huge difference. This is what people don't know. There's the after party that is organized by the like record labels or whatever.
Yeah.
They're not that good. The after parties that are at like an artist's house, so much better.
Off the hook.
Like proper dumb shit.
Yeah.
It's very incriminating activities are going on at these artists' house.
And how do they stop the scandal getting out? Because obviously we need to educate our footy players.
Oh, okay.
Is it phones in a box or
Yeah.
what happens when you go to a famous person's house?
Well, usually no one at the famous person's house is an athlete, so it doesn't matter what they do.
Everything's good for your brand, right?
Yeah, like there's no off-brand. There's basically you can't by doing just party-related activities, you're not going to get cancelled unless you're like in the Wiggles or something.
Yeah.
Even then, fuck it.
They were hardcore.
Fuck yeah.
One of them had a heart attack on stage the other night.
I fucking heard about that. Holy shit, not good.
That's brutal.
Go back to just chilling.
Yeah. So any good stories that you can't share?
Oh, dude, I'll get so much fucking trouble. I'm trying to think of one that.
One of your songs come from that though, right?
Yeah, one of so I signed my record deal with Ministry of Sound.
Yep.
Good old happy day. But this is another thing as well, and I feel like this is common sense. But then I told one of my friends. Granted, my friend was a fucking idiot, but you know when there's like the footage of the people signing, like when rugby players sign to clubs?
Yeah.
That's not when it's signed. It's signed at a whole other. It's like a bit of
Ceremonial.
it's a ceremony thing.
Yeah.
My friend thought like that's when they sign it. It's like nah, there's a whole process. So I had the real signing, and then 2 weeks later I had the media signing, which is where I had signed the papers and cameras and shit came. And also, side note, it just never got announced that I signed a record deal. We took all those photos for no reason.
Yeah.
And I've just been telling everyone because it's been a year. So I was like, if you're not going to announce it, I'll just tell fucking everyone in sight. And also, it's on. If you look at all my music on like Spotify and shit, it says that it came out through them.
Yep.
So, sign this record deal. Get really drunk at the office where they sign. Go to the Virgin Lounge. Get pissed at the Virgin Lounge. Get on a flight. Drunk on the flight. Go to a hotel award show. The hotel I worked at was nominated for Best Hotel in Australia, which says a lot. And then
That wasn't the same hotel that you were talking about before.
yeah,
Wow.
nominated for Best Hotel in Australia.
Death in.
Yeah, we won the year before, so we're heavy favourites going into the follow-up year. Didn't win, lost to a hotel which is far inferior. That place sucked, but they won, and
Was that one of the motor inns that are along the Miami here somewhere?
It was a massage parlour, and so the after party was at a place called Duke's Parlour, which is not there anymore, but it was connected to the hotel I used to work at, and.
Mm-hmm. I'm starting to put things together.
Just went there, free drinks, and
That'll get ya.
I knew all the bartenders. I just get these bottles of tequila, just fucking pour them on people, and not a good look when you're representing the place that you're at, but whatever. Drunk as fuck, stumble upstairs, throw up in the swimming pool of the hotel that I worked at.
Oh, so that's a real story.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
And the next day I came to work really fucking hungover, and my boss was like, and there's no cameras in the pool. My boss was like, hey, you know when you went to the swimming pool last night? I was like, yeah. Do you see any vomit in the pool? And I was like, I think I did. I kind of just went to just have a look and I left. And then he's like, oh, okay, weird. Can you try and figure out who threw up in the pool? I was like, I'm on it.
I've got a pretty good idea, but I'll let you know soon.
And they're like,
That's about as good as the Epstein investigation.
yeah, they're like, fuck it. That's
sorry, boss. We've lost all the footage, and Epstein killed himself.
Yeah, that's an interesting case. That whole Jeffrey Epstein thing, very very sus, isn't it?
It's
Not allowed to talk about it.
aren't we?
No, you get shot.
You get shot. I thought it was also sus that Hillary Clinton said that nobody likes Bernie Sanders, and I was like, I'm pretty sure no one likes you. So
Yeah, I thought Bernie was the man.
yeah, I thought he was all good. And in LA, fucking everyone loves him.
Yeah.
Actually, do you know who they love in LA? Is Andrew Yang.
Oh, really?
That's like their fucking. There's the Yang flags everywhere. All the shops have it. Like the people in LA, in like New Orleans and shit, they fuck with Bernie Sanders. But fuck, man, in LA, I think he's won California. I know that we've just taken a sudden drastic turn into US politics for some reason.
We don't mind it here. We do take the odd right and left turn around here. I think Trump wins again.
Yeah, Trump definitely wins again.
Because the Democrats can't get their shit together.
Yeah.
Like, they've got to go up against him at the back end of this year, and they're still squabbling over who they're going to support.
Yeah.
And they're not going to get enough votes.
And
I thought Tulsi Gabbard was the go.
Yeah.
She ticked all the boxes.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I don't know. That's about as much as I know about.
The whole impeachment thing is just more press for him.
Yeah.
It's making his supporters.
He'll
love
either
more.
get back in or be in jail. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's a
Or
very
both.
Yeah,
He'll probably be
Do it
in
Friday.
jail in power.
yeah.
He'll do a Pablo Escobar and like build his own jail and run his business out
Well,
of
it'll
there. Or
probably
run
be
the
just
country
like,
out
you
of there.
can't leave Trump Tower.
Yeah, turn the White House into a prison.
Yeah.
There'll be a golf course. And that's it.
You got to be careful. You got to spend a lot of time there.
Did he put a golf course in at the White House?
I would not be surprised, man.
I think
No,
I heard he did.
He flies to Florida every other weekend to play at his golf course down there. I'm pretty sure.
Shit, man.
Even though he used to hang shit on Obama about the
For
amount
doing
of
the
golf
exact
that he
same thing.
played in his,
Yeah,
he's already played more golf than Obama did in 8 years.
yeah. Fuck, I remember. Sometimes even I throw stones in such a manner. I was sitting down with a producer who I'm a big fan of, and he played me a song. He's like, "Do you want to help me write this song?" And he played me the track. I listened to it, and I was like, "This is the worst song I've ever heard by anyone ever in my whole life. You surely can't be thinking about releasing this song." And he's like, "No, like we think it's going really good. We just need like another verse. Do you want to help us write the verse? Like it'd be great writing for you." I was like, "I don't want to have anything to do with this song. This is the worst bit of audio that's ever been captured." And so he's like, "Dude, are you sure?" I was like, "Dude, thank you, but no thanks. I'm not trying to fucking ruin my career right now." Fucking 6 months later, that song nominated for 6 ARIAs and is one of the favorites to make top 20 for hottest 100.
Shit.
Yeah.
Can you tell us?
No, I won't say.
Are you ready? Are you ready for fame?
Probably not. I reckon if I got real famous, I would lose that shit immediately by saying something horribly stupid.
So you're on your way up. I reckon this time next year, I wouldn't be able to book you for a Beers and Banter pod. You're gonna be that big.
Let me put on the record right now. I'm always available for Beers and Banter.
That's good. That's good. But right now, you could probably, mate, that shirt's going to draw some attention. But you probably get down James Street in Burleigh without having to take too many selfies. Are you ready for when that switch gets flicked and you can't leave your house without, cap, sunnies, fake,
Yeah. I can deal. But also,
Don't know if it gets that crazy here.
yeah, I don't think it does.
I suppose if Chris Hemsworth can rock around Byron Bay with no shirt on, it's
Yeah.
probably a good indication.
I think in Australia the best you get is like, hey Chris, or
Yeah.
hey Lane, can I take a photo?
I reckon Harry
that's pretty much it.
and Meghan are instantly regretting leaving the royal family. They're already like lawyers out, paparazzi, Canada, taking pictures. It's like, what did you think was going to happen? Like, yeah, I don't know. I don't get that.
That's how much attention I pay. I didn't even know they'd left.
Yeah, I didn't know that till
Come
the other
on,
day. Do you know what's crazy? I didn't know who Meghan Markle was until recently.
Really? Haven't you seen Suits? Damn.
No, that's what people keep saying.
I haven't seen Suits.
Hadn't seen it. Didn't even know. Never even heard of it.
Yeah, good show.
I've spent the last sort of 10 years with just Walking Dead, Sons of Anarchy, Game of Thrones, repeat.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Throw in a Band of Brothers in there was pretty good.
I've seen. I think I've seen just about everything because I've been on so many flights. Do you know how many flights I had
Yeah.
last year? Take a stab. How many flights do you think I took last year?
67.
Way too much. Well, not way too much. I had 50 flights last year.
Oh, it's not,
It's one-
not way too much. I was
that's
going to
one a
say.
week.
I was going to say 100.
Yeah, which is a lot when you.
It's more flights than I took last year.
Yeah, apparently, according to Virgin Australia, in the top 2% of flyers in Australia.
So you're racking up some
And,
points.
and the other
Yeah,
1%'s FIFO workers.
Yeah, totally. Because I just fly 24/7. Yeah,
Yeah, but even those guys are only getting to fly every 3 weeks.
Unless you're doing week on, week
Yeah.
off.
But with that, I just sit on planes and watch movies and TV shows and shit.
Yeah.
And
Do you ever try to try and make that time more productive? Like, do you try and this is my time.
nah, you'd
Fuck
think
that.
you'd think I'd try and work on my career. I'm just gonna watch this thing.
I'm just working on some movies to watch the next time I go on Beers and
Oh,
Banter. I got something
yeah.
to talk about.
I hate that because you go to fly to Europe and you think, all right, I'm going to be wrecked by the time we get there. Better sleep on the plane.
Yeah.
But there's every movie that I haven't seen before, so I'm going to watch them instead.
Yeah.
And I'll sleep later. And then you get to the end of the flight and you're like, damn it,
And you're like, I'm fucked.
You know, I didn't like. So
I can't sleep on planes.
I got a new iPhone, right? And it came with, I didn't know, but a year of Apple TV.
It's so good.
That's the other show I watched.
I'm like, yeah, that's awesome. Except I went to use it yesterday, and it's like you've got to rent or buy everything on there. Am I using it wrong?
No, log in properly because we just got
Yeah.
sent the same offer, and I just binge watched Jason Momoa's new show.
I've
okay.
heard it's sick. Is it good?
It is good. It's I like that post-apocalyptic style show movie.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
basically go into Netflix and write disaster and see what comes up.
Have you ever seen Children of Men?
No.
Oh, dude, what are you doing? Stop the podcast. Go watch Children of Men.
Who's that got in it?
Okay, Colin Firth, Michael Caine.
Is it dark?
Fuck yeah,
Dude,
dude.
maybe I might have read that. Oh,
See,
maybe
I'm a
it's-
comedy guy.
I love all things that are just like are well made. Like I'll watch the worst movie of all time if they've done a really good job.
Yeah.
But with Children of Men, dude, it's fucking genius. It's a movie about women can't get pregnant anymore. And so people have come to the terms that they're the last people. And they go fucking crazy. But then one lady's pregnant. And Colin Firth and Michael Caine have to protect her because everyone's trying to kill the one pregnant person because they're like, we're the last people. We don't want we don't want any more people. It's fucking dark as. It's fucking crazy.
Similar in the new one. It's called C, so SEE, and I liked it. And I hope they consulted with blind people when they made it to make so that they actually worked out what people feel when they can't see.
Oh, is everyone blind?
So that's the storyline. A virus has wiped out most of the population. There's 2 million people left on the planet, and everyone's blind.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it's really cool because, like, in the village, there's ropes everywhere so that they can put their swords up and they know where they're going and all that sort of stuff. So
Everyone's blind.
everyone's
Even
blind.
Jason Momoa?
Spoiler alert, Jason Momoa's blind, but you pretty much find that out scene one, like take one. So,
Holy shit.
but the kicker is he's got 2 kids and they can see.
No shit.
And if you can see, you're treated like a witch.
Oh.
So there's people like hunting these kids that can see. So I won't say any more than that, but it's a good show. Get amongst it.
Oh, I'm going to have to
C
check this out.
SEE.
He's probably the most famous person I've met.
You met Jason Momoa?
Yeah, he was at the Loose Moose at Broady when he was
When's he-
filming Aquaman.
No shit. What's he like?
He was cool.
Yeah?
He made me feel like a child
Yeah.
because I was there with some customers for my day job. Spoiler alert, not making enough money out of the pod yet. But we're there with some customers and they like asked him for a selfie. So I thought I'd swan over and hey, sorry about that, mate. Can I get you a drink? And while I'm here, can I get a picture? And he's like, no. And I'm like, okay. And then he goes, but we can shake hands and we can talk like men. And I was like, okay. I'm like, oh, hi, I'm Matt from Burley. And that's about as far as it went. But no one believed me because I didn't get a picture with him.
When's he coming on
Like
the pod?
a picture's the new autograph, right? Like
Yeah.
if you don't get a selfie with a famous
didn't
person,
have
you
it.
didn't even meet him.
Well, if you can manage to get him on the pod, be like, hey, Jace, remember that time I've said 3 words to you at the
At the Loose Moose.
yeah.
I reckon
he'll remember you.
He looked like he was. I'd say that was his local while he was filming here because he looked
Probably.
settled in. But I think that's the most famous person I've met.
Most famous person I ever saw was 2 weeks ago. I saw Leonardo DiCaprio.
Stop
Yeah.
Stop it.
Yeah. So I was
Stop taking my lines.
I went to the comedy store to see Joe Rogan, and then after the show, I'm walking back to our hotel.
So
and
you've seen Joe in the flesh.
I've seen Joe 4 times.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to come to LA with you on one of these
Yeah,
trips.
dude.
Yeah.
One of my really good friends is a guy called Isaac Butterfield. I don't know if you know him. He's like a YouTuber. Joe Rogan's like his god. And, every time I go see Joe Rogan, I make sure Isaac knows that I'm just rubbing it in. I'm like, oh yeah, dude. I was front row for Joe Rogan like 4 weeks ago.
That's so
That's
sick.
He was
awesome.
from me to you away. And so yeah, saw him. He was great. He was real good. And then do you know a guy called? Have you seen the movie The Irishman?
Yes.
No, I've been meaning to.
Oh, again, stop the podcast. Go watch.
Yeah,
The
didn't-
Irishman.
well, I'm
I didn't
horrible
think it
with
was that
movies.
good.
One thing you'll learn
I
about
love
me.
it. I love Scorsese. I love long movies.
It was. I was kept waiting for something to happen though.
No, I was into it. I like gangster shit.
It was good.
Anyway, you know that scene where Robert De Niro kills
Easy.
a young guy. He's like wears glasses, and Don Rickles plays his birthday. Shoots him up in a diner with his with his family there.
Yeah.
That guy, his name's Sebastian. He's a stand-up comedian. He played before Joe.
Ah, right.
Fucking tore the house down. That dude killed, like
Yeah.
slayed. He was great. Then a chick called Melissa Villasenor from SNL. She played. Some chick from The Mule, that Clint Eastwood movie, played. It was a sick lineup. Joe Rogan came out. It's always good to just see Joe Rogan in person because you realize how unproportionate his whole body is. You look at him and go, "Holy shit! There's something different about how he looks because he's short, but he's so ripped,
Yeah.
and he's so big, but he's so small at the same time." And your brain, it's like that red dress, gold dress thing.
Is he quite short?
He's shorter than me.
Are you serious? You ever seen him on
Yeah.
the? Yeah.
No, I've never. I haven't seen him. I never really took any notice.
Yeah, but he doesn't look like he's short.
No.
It's so weird.
Look at him in the weigh-ins. Like Joe's always in the background at the weigh-ins, just like with his eyes wide open, like trying to analyze. But he's a full head shorter than most of the people that are on stage.
Well, yeah, he's definitely short, and
But a god.
every time I've seen him, his set's been pretty good, because it's very conversational. Like it feels like he's just having a chat.
Yeah.
And he was talking about how he was having dinner with Elon Musk the other night, and they were talking about Elon's talking about colonizing Mars and how they're going to do it. And he said, "Well, Tesla, we want to send up 4 astronauts, 2 guys, 2 girls, and they're going to start the first Mars population. They're going to set it up together." And Joe's saying he had an edible before he went out to dinner with Elon. And while Elon's telling him the story about populating Mars, Joe's imagining these 4 astronauts in the rocket ship, and they're about to land. Like, "God, we're going to do it." And one of the astronauts pulls out a gun, shoots 2 of them, and then shoots himself and just leaves one of the astronauts to be like, what the fuck? and he's like, just there, lands by himself, just fucking shook. And he's saying he's having a debate internally whether or not to tell Elon that's what he's thinking.
That's what's going to happen.
Yeah. And so, yeah, it was cool seeing him. So then, yeah, we leave the Comedy Store. I went to the Comedy Store 4 nights in a row when I was last in LA.
Oh, I'm so jealous.
The best place on planet Earth. And I saw Anthony Jeselnik. I don't know if you know him.
Yeah.
Dude, he was practicing shit for his next special, to the point where he had a pad like that.
I can't wait for his next special.
Dude.
He hasn't done one for a while, hey?
He did one last year. He had Maternity Ward on Fire or whatever the shit was called. But he was practicing new shit for it, and he would literally be like, all right. And it was 30 people in the room. It was the smallest room in the Comedy Store. He would be like, tell a joke. He'd be like, no, that's not good. Cross it out and like try another one. And I like one joke that he said that stuck with me was like, is my friend asked if I could donate sperm for a baby. I said, how old's the baby?
That's rough. Yeah, that's rough.
Anthony is
classic.
He's pretty out there.
Yeah, so it was sick seeing him. But yeah, so we're walking back from the Comedy Store to Hollywood Boulevard. Yeah, I'm staying at the Roosevelt, which is like hotel that Marilyn Monroe stayed at, where she fucked JFK at the fucking hotel.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Yeah. What was that?
Was she there?
Was Marilyn Monroe? She, believe it or not, was there.
Her ghost. Her ghost was
crazy. And
was she killed by the CIA?
Definitely. And then so we're walking down Sunset, and I just see this barricade with photographers at the Chateau Marmont, which is like this club in LA. And we're like, we'll just suss it out, forgetting that it was the Golden Globes, and it was the pre-party for the Golden Globes. And we're talking to one of the TMZ guys, and he's telling us, there's like all these people inside, and we're like, cool, we'll hang out, see who comes out. So first person that comes out was a YouTuber called David Dobrik, and I was like, what the fuck's this guy doing at this Golden Globe pre-party? This YouTuber, he gets in his Tesla, drives off, and then people just start fucking screaming, and I was like, no shit. And this girl had like these diamonds that were just blinding. I was looking at the diamonds so much, and I looked next to her, and there was Leonardo DiCaprio. And I was like, holy shit, there's fucking...
So you started screaming?
Nah, I was just like, no shit, it's Leonardo DiCaprio. And then he drove off, and then I was like, we won't see anyone bigger than that. Let's just go home. And we walked home, and we were walking home, and I didn't buy SIM cards. So I was like, fuck, I'll either get Wi-Fi, wherever there's Wi-Fi, just order it Uber, or we just walk. It's like a 40-minute walk from Chateau Marmont to fucking Roosevelt. So we're just walking, trying to find Wi-Fi. This car pulls up. Hey, you guys want a lift? Usually, I would say, no thanks, Chief. On your way. And I instinctively still wanted to say that. But my girlfriend, who was very drunk, was like, yeah, we want a lift. We jumped into the strangest car. And he was playing, like, Christian gospel music. And I was like, that's all good. Sit in the back of the car, and I was like, he's like, where you guys going? And I was like, Roosevelt, it's like just down the street, just drive straight for 10 minutes and we'll be there. He's like, all right. Just goes off the main road that we were on into the suburbs. I'm like, this is the bit where we die. Cool. No proof that we were in this car at all. Oh, great. Yeah, my friends are going to be like, what was he doing in the car? Oh, great. Fucking gonna die right now. This is the end. Thank you, everyone. And then he's driving, he's playing this gospel music, he's going so fast. He's going through the suburbs, and not stopping at the giveaway, just boom, boom, boom.
So why did he pull over?
Because he wanted to kill me. And then, so I'm like...
Let him get to the end of the story. We're going to find out why he pulled over.
Sorry.
I'm like, so the whole time I'm like, fuck, I'm going to die. My girlfriend's just looking at the photo. She took a fucking Joe Rogan. She doesn't even know that we're in a dangerous situation.
She just thinks you've got into an Uber.
Yeah. And he's playing this gospel music. He's like, so you guys like the Bible? And I'm like, huge fan, dude. Like,
shit.
Huge fan.
Massive fan.
Massive fan. Read it twice. Yeah. And he's like, what's your favorite verse? And I was like, oh, shit.
John 3:16.
Yeah. So I remember in primary school, before school every day.
You should have been all over it.
I know, I should have. I remember John 10:10 was what we were told to memorize that at my primary school in New Zealand. So I said, oh, it's John 10:10. He's like, oh, yeah? What's that one? And I was like, I have come so that they may have life and live to the full. He's like, oh, yeah, I knew you were a believer when I saw you. I was like, yeah, brother. Yeah, it's all good. We're all good. He's gone so fast. He's literally going like...
We're all going to see God now.
Yeah. He's going 80 Ks in the suburbs. But in the suburbs in LA, there's an intersection every like 100 meters where you're meant to give way because the cars, there's no fucking give way on there. So like a car's just going to come and kill us. He's going boom, boom, boom. I'm like, this is fucked. And he's like playing this. He's like, I love this song. And it's like just gospel. It's Hillsong shit. He's like, it's so loud, can't hear him.
Was it Scott Morrison driving?
Yeah, Scott Morrison was driving. And he was like screaming that, like singing the song, like, how great is our God? Sing with me, how I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to fucking die. I can't call fucking Chihuahua. Holy shit. And then I was wearing, and this is where Kanye West has saved my life. I was wearing my Kanye put out an album last year called Jesus is King, and I got some merch from the album, and I was wearing my hat, and I showed him my Jesus is King hat. He's like, I love that hat, brother. Where were you guys going again? And I was like, Roosevelt. He's like, oh, shit. And he turns back onto the fucking Banter road, and then drops me out the front of the Roosevelt, and I was like, how much owe you? He's like, oh, it's nothing, brother. Have a good night. And I was like,
Dead sad.
oh,
So did he see your shirt? Is that why he pulled over?
He saw my fucking hat.
Saw the hat?
I saw the hat, and then he went back onto the road. I think he was like, I'm not going to kill these guys. And,
Gonna go kill these non-believers.
yeah. Holy shit, I was so scared.
Oh, I can imagine.
Yeah, so yeah, I went home.
Meanwhile, the girlfriend's still looking at the Joe Rogan
Yeah,
pictures.
yeah, she didn't even know that.
How
we
much
were
did that
dating.
Uber cost?
Yeah. Oh, dude, it was fucking scary.
Well, story though. Good story.
Yeah, and you know what? At the time, sometimes I'm in a bad situation. I'm like, this will be a funny story. I was like, there's gonna be no story. I'm gonna be fucking.
Oh, that's so cool. And can you give us some dates? You're about to go on tour.
Holy shit, I'm about to go on tour. I found out today that listen to my voice falling apart just in time for the tour. And so I've got...
Beers are good for that. It'll be right.
I found out I've got more shows added to the tour. You ready to listen to this exciting announcement?
Turn the volume up, people.
Yep.
Write these down.
When does this come out?
Tonight, hopefully.
Depending on how long we talk for, we'll get it out tonight, Trying.
Okay, cool. Well, I've got a...
Like I said, we don't edit, so whatever. It's just put the back on, put the front on, send it.
I've got 2 shows that have been announced tomorrow, but I'll announce them here.
Exclusive
to the podcast.
Oh, wow.
All right. I'll start with the shows that are already announced. What day is it today?
It is Tuesday. Wednesday.
What's the date? The 22nd?
22nd. Tuesday,
Yeah,
Wednesday, 22nd of January,
22nd.
2020.
Let me see if I remember this. 24th of January, Gold Coast, Miami Marquetta.
Ew!
Yep.
I can't believe I'm leaving town this weekend.
That's all right.
Tragic.
25th of January, Byron Bay at the Northern
boom.
hotel I've stayed at before. Hotel when I was 19 years old, I was on tour with an artist, and we were told by the tour manager that artist we were on tour with had died before the show. Turns out he overdosed and was pronounced dead, but the tour manager told us he had died.
He's real rock and roll. He came back.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Didn't
nice.
tell us that he was still alive. We were just told he's dead, go home, essentially.
Oh, at least it wasn't. At least it wasn't. He's dead. You're up next.
Yeah.
Enjoy.
And then that would be fun. So yeah, Northern. I haven't been back to that venue since that fucking traumatizing night. Day after 26. Soul Bar on the Sunshine Coast.
Australia. Australia.
Straight day. I'm playing to a venue. Last time I played at the Soul Bar, I was 2014. I played to 0 people. So I'm hoping there's more than one, so it's an improvement. There will be. And then February 2nd, Newcastle. And this is where it starts to spice up, is these dates right here. February 5th, I am opening for a rapper called J.I.D., one of my favorite rappers of all time. Signed to Choking on Beer. Signed to J. Cole's label.
Yeah, wow.
Fucking huge fan. I would have gone to the show if I didn't have tickets. Like, I'm that much of a fan, I would have just bought tickets. Opening for him, that gets announced tomorrow. Opening for him in Sydney on the 5th. No. Opening for him in Sydney on the 4th of February. On the 5th of February, I'm opening for him in Melbourne. On the 6th of February, I've got my own headline show in Sydney. And on the 7th of February, I've got my own headline show in Melbourne. So I go Sydney, Melbourne in 4 days.
Wow. That's
I was going to say you're doing this on the tour bus, but clearly not.
No, a lot of flights.
Yep.
And then Brisbane with a rapper called Code of the Friend on the 13th. Then on the 16th, I'm playing in Wollongong. I've never been to Wollongong, first time. So then that's the show. So yeah, I got 10 shows in the next 2-3 weeks.
Yeah, wow, congratulations, man. That sounds
Rip.
awesome.
Yeah.
I'll have to get to what date's the Brisbane one? It's
13th of February.
13th. I'll be there.
Oh man, thank
I'll
you.
see you there.
I can't wait.
Rip
Yeah.
in. That sounds awesome. Can people still vote for the Hottest 100 or is it closed?
It is closed. It's closed.
Well,
Well-
next year, vote for Hickeys.
Yes,
Should-
and
should we-
Ricky's will be part because the songs that get made to vote are the ones that get added to rotation on Triple J.
Yeah.
And Hickey's was added to rotation on Triple J during the week.
Sweet.
So it's eligible for Hottest
So
100.
you got 12 months of people. That
12 months. I'm going to rail it into everyone like Hickey's 2021.
Can we play a little bit of that?
Yeah,
little
cool.
snippet. I don't know. Haven't loaded it up. Could be from the start.
Really? Well done.
She gave my car and said it's over. I know your heart is broken. And mine is too, you didn't notice. Tequila on her lip, now she tipsy. Concealer in her whip for the heavies.
What'd your girlfriend think of that one?
Yes, I like sex in the city.
No comment.
Careful, careful.
that was definitely one for the ladies.
Yeah, no, she loves you. I love you. I only sort of got into you quite recently, and
Uh-huh.
yeah, you've been on my rotation
Oh,
ever since. So
Thank
it's
you
been
so
good.
much.
Yeah, no, it's been great.
I've been bouncing between Lane stuff and a cover of Simply the Best that I heard on Schitt's Creek.
I'm in good company then.
Yeah, I can see how you made that.
Have you seen that show, Schitt's Creek?
No,
It's
I've heard of it though.
Yeah, it's a chick show, I reckon. But
Yeah.
it's one of those ones that it's good for. It's got the dad out of American Pie in it,
Okay.
Oh yeah.
and he's
Um,
supposed, and they're fully loaded.
Okay.
They're like rich, and then they lose it all, and
Oh,
the only thing they still own is this town in like backwards America somewhere, and it's called Schitt's Creek. Anyway, check it out.
Yeah, sounds
But
good.
there's a dude does a cover of Simply the Best, and I reckon if the NRL can't afford Tina Turner, they should just get this guy to do it because it's pretty cool.
If the NRL can't afford anyone, I'll fucking do
Get
it.
up there.
Lane will do it for
Let-
free.
hey,
Yeah, dude. Give me some tickets.
Let's start that campaign.
Dude,
Grand
I'll-
final day.
Dude,
Origin,
put me on.
I don't know if you
rugby
wanna,
league,
Put me on.
rugby
man.
league player.
I don't know if you want to do grand final day. You always hear horror stories.
Yeah, the
like
grand final
the
sounds
Tones
bad.
and I like she sort of tanked a little bit there. Like I don't know if it's really her fault. It's
Because
just-
you need to be a footy person to play a footy crowd.
yeah.
Yeah, I reckon I could pull it off. I could do great. For
Yeah, yeah.
I have a friend of mine called Frenchie who has a song called Football Drunk. Have you ever heard that song?
No.
It's the best fucking song of all time. So like the bridge is like get the nose bears down to your buzzing like cousin.
As in Frenchie, like the YouTuber Frenchie.
Yeah.
I went and
And-
saw him live at the Powerhouse once.
no shit.
Was it the Powerhouse? I went and saw him live somewhere in Brisbane.
Was it recently?
Nah, it probably would have been 18 months, 2 years ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, a little while ago.
Yeah.
He's hilarious.
Yeah, dude. He's like a good friend of mine.
Hey,
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
So we've covered tour dates.
Yes.
Tick.
Yes.
I've got 3 big questions that I want to get to before we run out of tape on the
Please.
old GoPro.
Hit me.
We do these for all our special guests. I should have clued you up before we started recording, but the most organic response is the one that I'm after. So so whatever comes to your mind.
Okay.
First one, favorite place on earth for a beer or a Hennessy. You choose.
There's a bar in West Hollywood called Davy Wayne's.
Cool. That's an original one. Davy Wayne's. Favorite athlete of all time.
Muhammad Ali or Sonny Williams.
And you've met Sonny.
I did meet Sonny Williams. I told him he was my favorite athlete of all time when I met him.
Was he training down at Casuarina? Is that how you
He
ran into
was,
him?
yeah.
The boxing gym?
He was at Pac Fair when I ran into him, but yeah, he's been training down
Yeah,
there.
cool. But Ali, the greatest.
Yeah, man, I love boxing. Like I love UFC now, but I grew up watching a lot of boxing.
We'll come back to boxing in a sec because I want to ask you about Tyson Fury's.
And Deontay Wilder.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be
Uh,
fucking awesome.
I don't want to break the big three, but
Yeah.
third question. If you could have any 4 people over for a barbecue
Yeah.
from history,
From history.
alive or dead,
Uh-huh.
they can be anyone.
Yep.
Who's coming and what are you cooking?
Well, the first thing I would do, I would get a chef from history to cook, and like completely hand over all the cooking duties to him.
I'll allow it, yes, tick.
So, but I would imagine I have to name the chef.
Yeah.
Okay. For just a gag, I guess I'll say Jamie Oliver.
Yep.
No, Gordon Ramsay. Take it back.
I was going to say Gordon Ramsay, but then you said Jamie Oliver, and I was like, damn, that's
Yeah.
a heaps better answer.
No, I went to Gordon Ramsay's restaurant in Vegas, and they had really good burgers, and I reckon he could cook up a great burger.
Yeah.
So I'll say Gordon Ramsay, and then I've got 3 people. So I probably want.
You can have 4. I'll
Oh, you'll allow 4.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
Gordon
yeah.
Ramsay's cooking, and then with
Just
me.
stay in the kitchen.
I love it. Okay. I reckon first up we will have Kanye West,
Kanye.
Norm Macdonald. Do you know who that is?
I'm a comedian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Norm Macdonald. Joe Rogan
Good answer.
and Conor McGregor.
Fucking hell, that's way better than my answers.
That's a good combo.
I reckon it'd be an interesting conversation.
That'd be great.
So, what do you think? It's come out that Deontay Wilder
Yep.
is relieving himself 7 times a day in the lead up to. Sorry, Tyson Fury is relieving himself 7 times a day.
Like jacking off or pissing?
Jacking off.
He's jacking off 7 times a day? Nah, he's going to lose. He's going to lose that fight. Because he'll be fighting. He'll be like, man, I wish I was jacking off right now like
yeah.
I would be.
Unless you can land that right.
Yeah, dude. Fuck that. Man, nah. Who's doing that? Tyson Fury?
Yeah.
That's the most Tyson Fury shit I ever heard in my life.
I thought it was the opposite. I thought Mike Tyson used to abstain from sex leading into a fight to make him angrier.
They used to do that to the All Blacks.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, during World Cup years. I've been,
What, through the year?
yeah, no, like during like in the World Cup, when they were at the World Cup, they weren't allowed to.
4 years leading in, no sex.
I remember watching a documentary years ago about like professional football, like soccer players, and there's like a part of their contract that they're like not allowed to have sex or anything like the day before the game, and it's crazy.
Apparently, there's music contracts with some female artists who I've talked to privately, so I won't say their names, but they've got in their recording contracts that they're not allowed to get pregnant because it'll fuck up their release schedule.
That's it.
Yeah,
Wow.
during the period of time.
That.
And I wonder if they've got the same thing with like women's soccer players. Or
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
You'd think
Because
so.
you'd be like, well, we've got a World Cup. You can't play for the Matildas if you're 9 months pregnant.
We've got a
Yeah.
little ways to go.
Yeah.
Oh, like I think it's like it's obviously not great, but it's kind of your profession.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Totally.
Yeah,
You're not fortunate.
you should get paternity leave.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We've just lost the GoPro, so from here on in, it's audio it.
That's
only.
cool.
That's all right.
I'm more of an audio guy
Yeah.
because then they can't see how sweaty I am.
Yeah.
Yeah. The aircon's. I'd say it's broken, but it doesn't exist. So it's
all
just
good.
hot as hell in here.
It's all good. I like it.
Once we go big, we've got a bit of a reno planned in here, and some aircon and maybe a big
exciting.
TV somewhere.
Do you remember at Big Day Out they had the boiler room? You ever go there?
No, I didn't.
It's hot.
Oh yeah.
I might have saw Alien Ant Farm. I saw them one year at the Big Day Out.
It was like in a little.
Yeah,
it was
one
like a compressed
cover.
tent.
Yeah,
Well, they
everyone's
did that Michael Jackson cover.
Yeah.
Tell you what, they made everyone wait too. They played all these rubbish songs before it.
I do the opposite of that in my set. I play my 3 singles as my 3 first songs in my set
You.
because I'm a good person.
What do you do for an encore?
I don't do encores,
Fair enough.
but I do. Every show's free meet and greet.
Yep.
So that's your encore, I guess.
Yeah, cool.
So all our massive amount of listeners out there, get amongst all those dates. I might try
Please
and
do.
get a slide and post some of them.
Please.
Or actually, no, just go to your Instagram. Where can everyone follow you?
Just follow me on Lane the Saint. They gave me one of those blue ticks on Instagram recently. It was
Get that in here.
that was
Fuck yeah.
fucking fancy.
Got to get one of them.
I was trying to work out how I could put like an emoji next to my name just to make it look like
a blue tick.
I've seen a few people do that. They
Yeah.
put like a little symbol there, and it's like that's not a blue tick.
Yeah, nah, I was just like on my phone one day. I just looked at my own Instagram for some reason. And I was like, fuck, I'm not verified on Instagram. And then apparently so. Don't know why.
That's cool.
It's like me the other day. I was looking at I was looking at something on Daniel Ricciardo's fake
Oh,
Facebook account.
He's sending me all this stuff like Ricardo's definitely going to Ferrari. He keeps dropping hints, and he sends me this screenshot. I'm like, hey, mate, how about you try following his actual account?
Yeah. Well, because I followed his real account, but I also must have just clicked follow on this fake account at some point, and it was fucking me up hardcore.
That's so funny.
Righto, so at Lane the Saint
You're Lane the Saint.
on
correct.
Instagram,
Yeah, on Twitter,
Twitter,
on the whole thing.
Facebook,
Yeah.
the whole lot. I guess we want people to download.
Just listen to the shit on Spotify,
Yep.
Apple Music. I got in a lot of trouble with Apple Music very recently. So I'm doing a competition with Spotify. Everyone that saves my song on their Spotify
Yeah.
goes into the chance to win a pair of socks. So one pair of
Yeah, I
socks.
saw that.
I was,
Yeah,
I
it
was
was cool.
hoping
I
to
nearly
swap
did
you
it.
a hat for some socks.
I don't even have the pair. There's only one pair.
no.
There's literally one pair. So whoever wins this, I don't even have a copy of them. Like, they're the only people in the world that have these socks. And I said that people kept asking, like, can we do it for Apple Music? And I was like, I put it on Instagram that I had to delete it very quickly. That as long as Apple is being manufactured by Foxconn, who's a manufacturer in China, who basically don't pay their employees, and to protest, the employees are jumping off the roof of the building. It was happening so much that Foxconn created nets around the side of the building because so many people were jumping off.
I did hear about that. Yeah.
And that's where the iPhones and laptops and shit are made. So I was like, until they're I don't have like an iPhone or anything like that. I've got a MacBook because you got to use it for like fucking music shit.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
all my leisure shit, I got no Apple shit.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I'm not doing anything Apple until they stop doing that because like all the people that make all the shit are killing themselves.
Yeah.
And apparently you're not allowed to say that when you're a musician because I got like calls like,
well, you just said it again.
You just
yeah.
and that was the last they saw of the Banter podcast.
and they're like, Apple's not going to playlist you if you talk about Foxconn.
That's it.
So I was like, fuck. So I took it down. Then
So Ricky Gervais can roast him.
he roasts Tim Cook like to his face. And but yeah, apparently I can't. And then
So do you want us to double that bit out?
No, you can keep it. Okay. Like, fuck them. Get a different... Like, it's not even Apple that I got the beef with. It's the...
Where they're making
it's
stuff.
the people that are making the shit.
Yeah.
Get it made in America if you want. Like,
It's not like their stuff's
Dude,
cheap.
I'm already paying $2,000 for an iPhone. I don't want to pay $4.
like, yeah. Get it made in
Sure,
Australia.
sure.
Get it made... Like, still get it made in China. Just get a different company.
Oh,
Like,
for sure. I
get a
totally
company
agree.
that pays the workers. Like,
We've
it's
got so much
fucking,
Apple shit in
it's
our
like
house.
slave product. And so yeah, they were mad about that. And then once I deleted it, Apple put me on their biggest editorial playlist on Apple Music. And now Hickeys is my most streamed song on Apple Music.
Hickeys is getting some love.
Yeah.
Really? So you said that shit.
Yeah.
They told you to take it down. So you're like, fuck, sorry, Apple. Took
Yeah.
it down. And now they're like, cool. Well, here's a little bit of a...
Yeah, I got a lot of Apple love after taking that shit
Fuck yeah, man. Maybe we might edit that last bit out.
down.
No, I'm going to wait for him to contact me and then I'll edit it out.
And I'll go on the record and publicly say right now, I have no issue with Apple, and especially the people at Apple Music. It's the people that are making the Apple devices.
It's
Yeah.
unacceptable.
Yeah,
Yeah, no.
It's like if whoever fucking made these tin cans was a piece of shit, I'd be like, still a good beer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Apple, you got some good stuff. Just get a different company, dude.
Yeah,
yeah,
sort it out,
That's all I
Apple.
want.
We're clearly happy to pay an exorbitant amount of money for your gear. Get it-
People pay so much. Like that Apple stand that was coming out, that was like $1,000 for a stand that holds a TV, and like just crazy shit.
Where do you get them?
Probably JB Hi-Fi. And yeah, dude, I got no beef with Apple, but yeah, it was very nice. It was very nice of them.
I feel
to-
like we've ticked all the boxes to get ourselves killed. this
yeah,
episode.
Jeffrey Epstein, Apple.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we're good.
I think we even took a shot at Trump this episode, didn't we?
Oh, we've insulted. We didn't really insult any God botherers, but that's all right.
Yeah, oh, yeah, talking about Christianity and
Good news is no one listens this deep into a podcast, so
No,
we should be good.
I like it. I listened to your whole Jai podcast,
Thank you.
which is funny because it's like a guy that I fucking know. I could just call him and have the
Same
conversation. But it was very good.
Did you listen to that podcast before Jai's first one?
I listened to the part 2 one that you guys have just put out.
No. So there was Jai Arrow podcast, and then there was the one before it.
Oh no, I just
Didn't-
listened to the.
Damn it, that was the best one yet, I reckon.
Yeah. To be honest, Luke, no one listened to that one.
No one listened to
Oh,
it.
sorry, I missed it.
That's all right.
It's cool that you got him there. How did you get Jai? I was meaning to ask him this when I ran into him the other day.
So, my sister knows Jai,
Who's your sister?
Kate.
Is she?
So she went to Miami High,
Okay.
but a lot of her friends went to Keebra.
Okay.
Yeah, so
And
that's-
just do
that's
that.
the time. Yeah.
There you go. Crazy.
It's a small world. Burleigh Bear
Yeah.
alumni. Is that the right word?
Yeah. Alumni.
I love that you're a Gold Coast local.
Yeah.
I hope we can get you back in 12 months after you've just smoked the hottest 100. How's that sound?
Mate, we can do a live listening of the hottest 100 next year if you want.
Oh shit. I'm going to close it on that night because it's getting too goddamn hot. I'm going to put the
very
door
hot.
up. What I would
Open the
like
door and
everyone
have
to
a couple more
do,
beers.
everyone that's listened, please like, follow, share. It does a lot. You're talking about Apple. We're getting screwed by the other big Silicon Valley company at the moment.
Who's that?
Rhymes with Facebook.
Rise of Facebook?
So we got all this good, organic reach when we started.
Oh, yeah, and then you got to pay for more.
and then all of a sudden it's like Jai's episode is like, I would have thought they would have done better.
Yeah.
We were quoted on multiple news websites, and
Yeah.
we were played. Gyro 2 was played on Channel 9.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck, this is the episode that's going
Facebook's like, no, don't think it'll
Facebook's
take
like-
off.
to. Not even your friends and family saw that episode. It's
Yeah.
like, you know,
They-
boss,
Actually, I don't even know if I saw it pop up.
get out.
I watched it. I looked for it, but I didn't see it pop up.
So please like, share, subscribe's a big one. Please subscribe on the podcast apps, on Spotify or on YouTube. Does wonders for us. Really appreciate everyone's support. We do have a couple of hats left. Last couple.
Literally last two.
There's one there for Lane.
No, you don't. You don't need to
That's for you.
Sell it.
And yeah, at Beers and Banter on all the platforms. Thanks for the love, people. We've really enjoyed this one.
This is a very nice hat.
I've got one.
Buy the hat.
That's
Yeah,
yours.
yeah.
That's yours.
Really?
Yes,
Oh,
definitely.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm going to get you to sign the table before you leave as well. If
Yeah.
you can.
Oh, did Jai sign it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah, what
So
a
we started.
dick.
This is a new table. New table. We're going to get everyone to sign it.
I'm gonna send him a photo of that. I'm gonna. Can I cross out Jai's name and put my name?
Sure. You can-
so
It's not my
funny.
table. I can't say that.
Shush you.
I'll write mine next to Jai's.
Thanks everyone for listening, and we'll see you again soon.
Thank you very much for having
Thanks
me.
for joining us. Cheers.